Good evening! How's everybody today? What is Kevin talking about today? The dude's crazy, he's gone mad. Okay, serious. Listen up. Hup! Listen up. I've seen many videos about traveling. And I can say I've been blessed to travel a bit. Let's say I'm happy with what I've done. You know, I've been to Indonesia, Java, Bali. Spent probably like 5 months in Nepal and India, been there. So traveling around, and now living in Thailand. Been here 7 years. When I lived in UTF to 2, and then well, I guess about 2.5, and then the rest is here. So actually, no, hang on. 6.5 years I've been here. 7 years in August. So what I want to do is to share with you what I have learned, okay? I also did 22 years in the green clothes. I did I did a medics course, and I've done a lot of survival training. And I've done a lot of survival training alone, learning by myself, trying all different things, learning. Why? It's a bit like a first aid kit, you know, a first aid training. Why do you learn first aid? You learn it because if you need it, you need to know how to use it now, not start reading a book if there's somebody who can't breathe or is bleeding to death in front of you. So I'm not going to go down that road, but I want to say how to survive in Thailand or anywhere. Okay, so I've got a few things that I want to talk to you about and show you. These are the things I actually have in my own house, and I've got more. And there's one I want to share with you at the end if I can remember. Nothing scripted here. Okay, so things you cannot get in, some things you cannot get in Thailand. So I suggest you buy them before you come here. So let's start with simple things, okay? Let's say you have a toothache, right? So what do you use for a toothache? Clove oil. Put a little bit of clove oil, rub it on your gums, and it stops toothache pain, okay? You can use it, you know, every couple hours, or you can use it for a day or a week if you don't want to go see a dentist. But if you're in Thailand, I would say go see the dentist, because it's a lot cheaper and you can get your tooth fixed. If you have a filling that fell out, you can actually buy stuff to stick it in a filling to stop, because you know the nerve is at the bottom of the tooth. So if the filling falls out, it's super sensitive. So you can use the olive clove oil and put this in top, and to cap the hole and stop the pain. But if you're in Thailand, just go see a dentist. But if you're in the middle of nowhere, in the mountains, or you know, in the boonies, as I say, have that in your bag, and you can keep going with no pain. Okay? Some of the other things, I'm going to do this kind of quick, okay? So bear with me. If you have an upset stomach, you can get Imodium. I took them out the packet and stuck them in here. They're loose Imodium. That's for gentle upset stomach. But then if you have a really bad upset stomach and you like severe diarrhea, you can get Lamatol. Okay, Lamatol will stop a truck. That stuff's strong. But if you're having to use Lamatol for a few days, I suggest you go see a doctor, because you might have an intestinal bacterial problem, and he can give you some antibiotics for it. Okay. One of the things you need when you're traveling around in the tropics is you're going to get heat rash. Okay. I have it, it's varying stages of it all the time, and it's because of your sweating. It's hot here, right? You can actually buy powder. It's a talcum powder, and it just says on it for, you know, treatment of heat rash, excuse me, of heat rash. And you just, you know, have a shower, dry off. I usually stand in front of the fan for a minute to get all the moisture off, and you put that on, and it's medicated, so it's like a menthol feeling once it's on. Okay, if it gets a little bit worse, what you can buy here is some stuff called TA lotion. It's actually called TA lotion, and it's like a 0.1%. It's not expensive. Put it on a cotton bud and rub it on the area. You know, you can get it for ladies under their boobs, for guys under the armpits and the groin, around your private parts. You can get it, and I can tell you it's not fun. So I would suggest something to keep something like that in your bag. Okay, so for bug bites and rashes and things like that, you can get I didn't bring it out, actually, I forgot. It's hydrocortisone cream. Okay, it's almost impossible to find here. Somebody might tell you you can get it here, but it's very difficult to find. So if you're in Europe or America, you can get Equate from Walmart, or you can get other stuff like that. It's a hydrocortisone, which is, again, it's slightly medicated and stops the itching. If you get a cut, you can get this here. This is from Walmart, Equate. It's a triple antibiotic and pain relief, so scratches and bug bites and things like that. And then you also have Neosporin, which is also very good. But you know, whatever country you're in, think about getting something like that. Okay, so then if you have you know, if you cut yourself shaving or small cuts, I've got some of this. It's not fun to use. It's called Nick Aid. If you cut yourself real bad, you can rub it on and it stops the bleeding. There's actually a friend of mine, when I was in America, I knew a vet, and she was from Hawaii, and her parents were from Asia somewhere, I forgot now. But in do you remember in the Vietnam War? This is what I'm told. Okay, in the Vietnam War, the soldiers, the Vietnamese soldiers and Chinese soldiers, would carry these tablets with them. If they, and the idea is they take the tablet and it would stop severe bleeding. I have a packet, but it's really, really old, so I don't want to show you it. It's kind of old. So, I mean, the big tablet is if you actually got shot, or you know, you could say road accident, something like that, that you could take yourself. I wouldn't suggest giving it to anybody, but you know, I'm talking about looking after yourself, survival type situations. You know, you leave something here sweating for a few days and it can actually get infected. So I would suggest the antibiotic cream and things like that. Try to keep it dry, cover it, first aid, you know, okay? The other thing you can buy is new skin. So if you have something, you know, like a small cut or a scratch, you can cover it with new skin. It helps, the skin will heal underneath and then that falls off. I don't like using that, but if you have an awkward cut, then it's something like that's good. Now, you're going to think this is funny, but you know, I've cut myself since I've been here. You can see I cut myself here, remember, on the well lid. I also got a big cut about this long on my leg, 6 inches long, where I slipped and my leg went, hit some metal and cut it. But it cut it not into the meat, but just cut the skin like a razor blade. It was clean. So what did I do with that? I just left it alone, covered it for a few days, and that was all I did. Neighbor going by. That's all I did. So I just left it alone. This one, I actually got some up here from when I was a kid, but this one here, I went to the hospital because I didn't have any butterfly stitches. And I just said to him, I didn't want stitches. I didn't want him sticking me with needles and sewing me and all that sort of stuff. Just give me some butterfly stitches. I could see it was cut. It was cut to the meat, but the meat wasn't, the muscle wasn't hurt, only the skin. So I tried to find, I've been to pharmacies, I've been to hospitals, I've been to hospital pharmacies. I've been all over the place trying to find butterfly stitch or steri strips or whatever you want to call them, okay? And I'll show you this. It's a picture. This is actually from Boots. My mother sent it to me. Can you see that on the back of the hand here? So if you have a cut, you pull the skin, you clean it, pull any obstacles, you know, any things in the cut out, rinse it, put some antibiotic or antiseptic cream in or liquid, dry it a little bit, pull the skin together and put it together. There's a Boots. Now this is from Boots, okay? Boots UK, England. There's boots here in Thailand. You cannot buy this. It's like, you can't buy it in Thailand. They have them in the hospital, and I said to the hospital, can I buy some from you? And they said, no. Cannot. I'm like, dude. So I asked my mom if she found some in Boots on sale. So I would suggest have some, because if you're traveling or even living here, you know, you cut yourself, and you could, I mean, if you're smart, you can look at it and you go, okay, it's not too bad. Put some antiseptic solution in. There's a little tiny bottle of, it's a yellow bottle with a white cap. I forget the name of it, but you can buy it here. It's usually, you can even get it at 7-Eleven in the first aid section. It's an antiseptic. It's the stuff they used to use a long time ago. It's like yellowy, and it makes your skin all red and yellowy. But you can buy little bottles of it. So put that in, rub the excess off, bring the skin together, and close it up. But you cannot buy them here, anywhere. So I suggest buy it before you come. Put it in your bag. If you cut yourself, you know, you can bring Band-Aids with you, things like that. Okay. Yeah, so hydrocortisone I would suggest bringing too, because some of those are a little bit hard to find here. And there's always the language barrier when you're asking for things. You know, you'll hear this "my-me," which we don't have. So you think, you know, you can buy it all over Europe, you can buy it all over in America, but you cannot buy things like that here. You can go to the local doctors, and it's cheap. I mean, when I cut my arm, I went there, and because I live on a road with no name, they couldn't find me to bill me, so they just said free. But if I had the, you know, I cut it, I went in the house, I had a shower, I washed it in the shower, I dried it off, it was clean. If I had these myself, I could just, done, and it would have been finished. But I went to the hospital and had some drama. So, how many minutes is that? Okay, 12.5 minutes. Just to summarize then. If you have medicine, then I would suggest you bring some spare medicine. If you think you might need something for like diarrhea, constipation, bring some. You know, it's better to not use it than not have it if you need it. So, I've never seen anybody do a video like this, and I wanted just to say to people, hey, you know, I've been talking to others, people I know about this sort of stuff. But I want others to know. So if you're traveling, these are the things you should travel with. And you know, you're talking about the bottom corner of a carrier bag that you can stick in your backpack or in your suitcase. So you can't buy certain things here, but you can buy other things here. So you know, you can go to the pharmacy and ask. A pharmacist normally can speak English, so you can ask for medicine. You can ask for pain medicine, and and they'll give it to you without a prescription. In one of my other videos, you could hear my friend talk about that, who's a pharmacist. If they think you're genuinely in pain, then they'll give you the pain medicine. If they think, you know, if you need an antibiotic, walk into a pharmacy, show them the cut, or whatever it is, and they'll give you antibiotics. Just explain it well so you get the right one. So all you're then paying is 30, 50, 60 baht, you know, $2, £1.70. For some antibiotics. Done. You don't have to see the doctor. You don't have to. Okay? So, you could say I'm a little bit nuts talking about this, but I can say this, right? I was in the Army for 22 years. And in my time, I met soldiers who'd been in a long time, could not look after themselves. So, living life large is being able to look after yourself. So while you don't have to do a medics course, learn basic first aid. Learn how to take care of something that's infected, or a bug bite, or heat rash, things like that you might not have thought of coming to the tropics. Like the olive oil, you can buy that and rub it on your gum, stops toothache. The false, what do you call it, artificial filling to stop the pain if you've lost the filling. They take up minimum amount of space, so it's worth carrying. Okay? So I'm going to close off and say, I hope you've learned something. I hope I passed on some information, and I hope you never have to use any of it. But you know what it's like if you don't have it and you need it. So better to get it and carry it with you and not need it than to not bring it and need it. Okay? Good night. See you later. Buckets of blessings, rivers of peace, joy, and kindness. Look after yourselves.